What's going on, everybody? This is B. Scott. I'm here with
God.
and this is the first four downs. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the fantasy impact of the rookies. NFL draft happened a week ago, so it's time to look ahead. 2020 season's coming up, and we're going to look at the rookies and how they're going to impact your fantasy team. So stay locked and loaded right here at the first four downs.
Drop it like it's hot.
What's going on, everybody? B. Scott here with God, and like I already said in the beginning, we're going to be talking fantasy rookie impacts, realistically, for that fantasy football team. And before we start today's content, remember, like the video, subscribe for more information. We're going to be here all for the 2020 NFL season for your fantasy information. So realistically, make sure to hit that bell and stay in touch with us. Comment, do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We'd much appreciate it. We like interaction. So we can start right now at the top, realistically, and we're going to start at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Fantasy impacts this year. Personally, I don't see one that will impact a fantasy roster that you're going to draft. Even in a 12, maybe 14-man league, I still would probably stay away from any quarterback. But let's go right to it. Joe Burrow, number one pick overall, Cincinnati Bengals. Is he going to make an impact in the NFL? Obviously, he's going to start. They cut Andy Dalton, plain and simple. So you already know that's going to happen. But is he going to be fantasy relevant? I'm not so sure. I mean, he's in an offense that has some weapons around him. Don't get me wrong. They tendered A.J. Green, but with John Ross and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. What do you think?
Yeah. You know what? We know his talent coming out of LSU. He had a great tenured college career and everything like that. But I have been saying this like very vocally. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be put in this bad situation. If you look at that team last year, the offensive line was terrible. You know what I mean? They wasn't winning a lot of games in that. You look at Joe Mixon's production last year. We were waiting all year for like just at least 8 points.
He started to come on.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the year,
they didn't address a lot of that in the draft. They ended up taking Joe Burrow with the first pick, which they should have drafted back and just fixed the line, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, they could have took Jordan Love or somebody way later and fixed the line. Joe Mixon would have been super productive and allowed a rookie quarterback to be productive. That didn't happen. So you're in a mix with, you got A.J. Green on the franchise tender, you got Tyler Boyd and John Ross and all those guys, but that offensive line sucks. And you're at the very bottom in that AFC North, which is a very tough division defensively.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think he's draftable in my opinion. You look at a lot of guys, especially for all these rookie quarterbacks. There's a lot of guys like Derek Carr's and, you know what I mean, Tannehill's and Fitzpatrick's and stuff like that you would probably take over a guy like Joe Burrow coming in. You know what I mean?
Plug and play
on paper, with the weapons that he has,
Yeah.
it looks good.
Yeah, of course.
But he's going to struggle, especially with there's probably not going to be no OTAs. The preseason will probably be very short, if any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think he's in a bad position as the number one pick. And it's very, you know what I'm saying, unique from any other first-round draft, first pick that ever came out.
Yeah,
you know
of
what
course.
I mean?
So we can go right to the next pick. That's Tua. That's the next quarterback off the board.
He sucks.
He's on the Miami Dolphins.
They suck.
Realistically, even with Devontae Parker over there, who showed finally that he could be good in his fifth year as a receiver. Tua, I don't know if he's not going to be relevant either. Realistically, on the fantasy impact scale.
Yeah.
In a couple years, maybe, possibly. And if he's fully healthy, that plays a factor whether he even starts week one. But it's another quarterback you're just staying away from in the draft.
Yeah, Tua, his whole injury situation through high school, through college, now you go to another level of it. You're saying it's going to be,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, different now. I don't see that. Also, you coming into it, you got a veteran quarterback, a very cerebral quarterback ahead of you, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In that offense, he already did some work there. I don't know. He's going to have to at least beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know what I mean?
Can you do that? I don't know.
We'll see. You know what I mean? Tua is another one of those guys. I don't think that necessarily during the season, you know what I'm saying, he may pick up traction and you may claim him off waivers, but I wouldn't be out there drafting Tua at all. Or the next quarterback that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So the next one on the board, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Another situation. They got him sitting behind Tyrod Taylor. Anthony Lynn already came out and they're confident in Tyrod Taylor's production. I'm comfortable with saying that Tyrod Taylor is a quarterback that helps rookie quarterbacks get on the field.
Yeah,
Realistically.
basically.
So
Yeah, that's another situation. We'll probably see him at least halfway through the season starting, but he's in a different situation. He has dynamic weapons around him.
Yeah,
Got Mike
absolutely.
Williams, Keenan Allen's already established.
Hunter
Hunter
Henry.
Henry's back there on
Yep.
the tag. They got Eckler, a good running back coming out of the backfield catching the ball. So and their defense is crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? So he may be in the best fit situation, but that offensive line is also been terrible.
Yeah.
That's why Philip Rivers is out of there now.
Yep.
But I mean, he may be in the best situation to produce actually as a rookie quarterback.
yeah.
In my opinion, you know what I mean. Do you draft him? Not necessarily.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? I would rather wait until we see him start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a viable option possibly down the road, depending on the matchups, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He could be started. So we got a couple other quarterbacks we're going to go with a tandem here. And these are quarterbacks that are sitting behind starters. So realistically, you're looking at Jalen Hurt
Oh my God.
and Jordan Love. Now, can they make impacts?
No,
Not this year at all. Plain and simple, they're not going to be drafted. Honestly,
unless they're traded.
they could be good dynasty players. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, yeah.
If you have a spot on your bench for a dynasty player, realistically, but Jalen Hurt, I worry because Carson Wentz is still young.
Hey, he's still 27 years old. I mean, he has had an abundance of injuries through his career. So the Philadelphia Eagles are not hurting at the quarterback position
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? This kid's a winner. And I think throughout his career, he will show that he's a winner. Jordan Love, on the other hand, we don't know if we're going to get Jordan Love. And we don't know when he's going to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Brett Favre was a year younger than Aaron Rodgers right now when he got replaced by Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So, and it's crazy. He got took late in the draft just like Jordan Love did. So,
And they moved up to get him.
yeah, it's crazy. I feel bad for these quarterbacks, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? They're pretty good quarterbacks, and fantasy relevance next year, non-existent at all.
So now we can turn to the wide receiver position, realistically, and the number one wide receiver that was in the draft that I think has the biggest fantasy impact has got to be Jerry Jeudy. He's in the best spot. Denver Broncos, they lack pass catchers. You look at what Cortland Sutton's done last year, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Second year.
Yeah, second year. And Drew Lock, I didn't think he was playing that good in the preseason. He didn't look good to me anyway. Proved me wrong when he came in as a starter, in week 13 or something like that. Finished 4-1. So I think it's a great spot for Jerry Jeudy, especially to be drafted in fantasy, as probably like a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. That's probably where he's going to finish within the 20s. I think has the potential anyway to have 1,000 yards. Is he going to see 100 targets? We don't know yet. We don't know a full year with Drew Lock. We don't know how that offense is going to run, especially with him adding Melvin Gordon and having Philip Lindsay. So, but I think he has the highest potential of the wide receiver class.
I'm not sure if he has the highest potential, but I think his place should be cemented. Like, he should be able to produce coming out the gate. You think about that X side that they got with Cortland Sutton. You know what I'm saying? He's the best thing that came out since Megatron. Obviously, 6'5", got good speed, good hands. You know what I mean? He's going to come into his third year as one of those third-year wide receivers. He should break out. Drew Lock did look good last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he should be solid. We don't know what they're doing with the running back position. Obviously, like we just said, they're trying to keep up with Kansas City. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Because Kansas City, they look like dominant enough to run the next 2 or 3 Super Bowls, to be honest with you.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Jeudy, though, back to him, he had a dominant college career. Later on, we started to learn that he had arthritis in his knee. His agent came back to say that he didn't. None of that should be on him right now because he didn't miss no practice, no games, nothing like that. You think about the system that they got going on, he should line up on the other side of Cortland Sutton easily. You know what I mean, and get some rookie production. I don't see necessarily 1,000-yard season for him, but that system has produced Emmanuel Sanders and Cortland Sutton at the same time.
Yep.
You know what I mean. I think that'd be better off fit with Deshaun Hamlin running the slot and Cortland Sutton run one side and Jeudy running the other side. They would be absolute beasts. And then you got Melvin Gordon and Phil Lindsay in the backfield. They still have Royce Freeman, which is ridiculous to me as well. Noah Fant came on strong last year. So all those options, you know what I'm saying, open up lanes for different receivers and different running backs and everything like that. So, yeah, he's probably in the best position to actually succeed there. You know what I mean? I think John Elway did very good drafting him there. I don't understand why he fell there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, at all. But, Jeudy, yeah. He should be lock and load. I would put him like wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 numbers. You know what I'm saying? A flex option. You know, it's not a guy that I would be picking in my first top 5 picks.
No, of course not. But realistically, I think he could finish. He has the potential to finish the season in the 20s, right around the 30 mark, probably late 20s, early 30s.
I can see that.
You know, so he's got the best potential for the rookies.
Yeah.
Next rookie that I think could make a huge splash, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you look at the Dallas Cowboys; they just fell in his lap. I guess at 17,
unfucking
he was projected to be drafted number 11. You know, realistically, and he falls to the Dallas Cowboys, who are already loaded on offense. I mean, come on. The only reason he's not slotted higher is the simple fact that they have so many weapons.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Gallup. They just signed Amari Cooper to a big $100 million contract. You know, of course, they lose Jason Witten, a nice, solid check down receiver, but they still got Blake Jarwin. He's an okay tight end. And then Cooper, Gallup. You know what I mean? We already mentioned these guys. Zeke coming out of the backfield. So it's going to be hard-pressed to see CeeDee Lamb make a huge splash in fantasy impact his rookie year outside of barring injury or something like that. So for me, I'm definitely drafting him as a late-rounder guy where realistically he's going to sit on your bench. You hope one of those guys either gets hurt or whatever else and he fills the void. He can still make an impact as a rookie, though. He's a great player.
Yeah. Jerry World is a crazy place to be. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you 3 names. Pearson, Irvin, Bryant. All had 88. All ex-receivers. CeeDee Lamb now has the 88. You know what I mean? That shows you Jerry Jones' intention. I think he's going to get fed the ball. This is scary. You know what I'm saying? Michael Gallup showed real promise coming up, and he's a dope receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Him in the slot's still good, though.
That's what I'm saying. Amari Cooper, dope receiver.
Yeah.
50% of his game production, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Through his career, he's shown that. You know what I mean? That's facts. Snapple facts. However, Dak Prescott has to prove that he should be one of those top quarterbacks paid. He took the franchise tag this year, turned down the $33 million, which is crazy to me. He should have took that running. You know what I mean? But they add that weapon there. I think CeeDee Lamb will show out. He showed them, in college that he was a monster. It's just about the opportunity that he actually gets. You know what I mean? Those 2 wide receivers before him are acclimated to that system. They do have a new head coach coming in.
100+ targets.
You know what I'm saying? McCarthy looked very happy when CeeDee Lamb dropped to him right there. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for CeeDee Lamb. We don't know. On all these rookies, you're not going to know until the preseason, till you see the first 2 games. You know what I mean? That's when you know the sets and what they're going to roll in their positions, or they're testing them out at. You know what I mean? But Lamb is no joke. Can I put him in a wide receiver 2 position? No. You think about wide receiver 2s right now. You got guys like Mike Evans and shit being a wide receiver 2 with Chris Godwin overtaking that. You know what I mean? So Gallup, wide receiver 2. DJ Chark, probably wide receiver 2 type numbers, even though he's the wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Can I put him in that light with him? No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to be ultra productive. One of those guys you sit on the bench, and very draftable. You know what I mean? In later rounds. You know what I mean? I wouldn't take, honestly, like first 6, 7 rounds on CeeDee Lamb at all.
No,
maybe about 7 to 8 when those first actual defenses get taken off the board, and everything like that. Maybe you sneak CeeDee Lamb in there and just lock your little lineup up.
Yeah, of course. I mean? So yeah, these first 2 receivers definitely draftable players.
Yeah.
So we can go to the next receiver. I'll start with Henry Ruggs, Las Vegas Raiders, and it was a kind of a shocker pick. The only shocker was that CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy were still on the board, and Ruggs went first.
Yeah, Ruggs went first.
It was absolutely perfect for Al Davis. It was like he called down from heaven.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, he runs real fast. We got to get him on the field.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying. So don't get me wrong. I think Ruggs can make an impact. Absolutely. My problem is the production. How many targets is he really going to see in a season? Do you think he can get to 100 targets? No way. I just don't see it. Darren Waller, they like to throw out of the backfield. Josh Jacobs a whole lot. Derek Carr, he's a dink and dunk type of quarterback. His air yards are low. And they still got Tyrell Williams on that outside for the deep ball. So can Ruggs make an impact? Absolutely. But I don't think it's going to be large enough to be able to be drafted. Maybe draft him really late as a bench stash, but that's about it.
Again, Kansas City affects his draft completely. You got that speed of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the Andy Reid offense, you know what I'm saying? Andy Reid has like pretty much trailblazed the way for this kind of offense to exist. Mm-hmm. You think about Deshaun Jackson when he first had him, you know what I mean? Yeah, he probably won't get the targets, but those kind of players don't need the targets.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? They're big playability type players, and they could just take it to the house at any given moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Derek Carr or Mariota in that system, can he be a top 30 receiver? I don't. You know what? I don't know. And that's kind of a guy that maybe you steal. You know what I mean? But that's not the kind of guy that I would draft at all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
like
saying?
trust.
That 4.2 speed is dope. He's an excellent playmaker. But Carr doesn't throw down the field at all.
Yeah.
Mariota throws down the field, but he throws to the other team. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And there's been receivers that came in this league that are really fast.
Yeah.
That
4.2 though,
I get it.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the impact is. I'm definitely not drafting him, or if I'm drafting him, it's a late stash.
Tell you what,
You know.
Darren Waller, that'll probably break him open, and Josh Jacobs to be. I mean, of course, Darren Waller will be top 10 in his position. There's not many tight ends that's going to be top 10 anyway.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You're looking at both. They could
yeah.
both finish top 5. Realistically,
Yeah.
they got the talent and the way that offense is.
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah,
easily.
and Darren Waller with the targets.
It just opens the field like immensely.
Of course. So Henry Ruggs, possible draft, but definitely don't draft him to rely on him as a wide receiver that you can start on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
especially
you think
this
about
season.
Tyreek Hill, Antonio Brown, those kind of players. It took them a little bit of time to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be that kind of player.
Yeah, of course.
So, rookie season, I just don't see it.
Yep. So we can turn to the Philadelphia Eagles. They drafted a guy named Jalen Reagor. Now, he's a fast receiver.
Yep.
And he can obviously make plays with Carson Wentz. He's a great quarterback. But there's still the wide receiver core over there with Alshon Jeffrey still under contract. Deshaun Jackson should be fully healthy coming into preseason and into camp. You know what I mean? So, plus they still got Ertz. Plus they still got Goddard.
They still got Whiteside,
That's what I'm saying.
who's actually a beast. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get much playing time last year. So what playing time was Jalen Reagor going to really get? You
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying.
So
the role that he's going to fill, I'm hard pressed to draft him this year, or he's on the same as a lot of these rookies, kind of a bench stash. You know, outside of Judy and outside of CeeDee Lamb, there's not many rookies that I'm aiming towards being a viable starter this year.
the impact of Tyreek Hill is ridiculous. You know what I mean? That fast offense. You know what I mean? It just opens up the field for everything else. So he's worth the pick. You know what I mean? I think his production lies in everybody else's production, what he can actually do for them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think, like, fantasy relevant, Jalen Reagor is just going to be a monster. You know what I mean? Maybe you fill him at week to week, but you're not going to know what you're going to get. I would rather draft a Marquise Brown or something like that.
Absolutely.
In that era. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
of course, especially as like a fifth receiver on your team or something,
Yeah.
fourth or fifth receiver. So, couple of left receivers that we got left on the board. Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers. Absolutely
That
can
was a
make an
shock to me.
impact.
Yeah.
He can make an impact, but you're on a run first offense. Debo Samuel, Jalen Hurd is supposed to be
Jalen Hurd.
Jalen Hurd. He's supposed to be fully healthy coming into camp. So he was out most of the year last year. So you don't know what you're going to get with him. And they got Kittle. So I don't know what's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk. I don't know how much love he can possibly get in a run first offense. You know, so I'm definitely not drafting him this year for sure.
Yeah. The 49ers are crazy, man. You know what? They went and got Trevor Williams. Joe Staley retired. Good. Replace that position. Last year, you seen they ran the ball a lot. That's what they do. They got a dominant defense. That's what they do. Like as you say, they got Kittle to check down, and he lines up like crazy. You know what I mean? Debo Samuel's as a rookie wide receiver last year, he did kind of beast. You know,
He was all over the field.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But they also did make a trade for Emmanuel Sanders because they needed that kind of help. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, who knows what he's going to play on this team? You know what I mean? They're going to be run heavy. They're going to be midfield dump, but they also need that speed. Debo Samuels is that speed. You know what I mean? Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State, he's a pretty good playmaker. Questionable hands, but after he gets the ball, he pretty much breaks it. You know what I mean? That's kind of playmaker they need on that offense for San Francisco to be back in the conversation of being in the Super Bowl. Period. I think it was a good pick for Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and the San Francisco 49ers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it wasn't bad considering they traded away DeForest Buckner, and instead of taking the wide receiver like Judy or Lamb, they went ahead and took their defensive player. They obviously had some high hopes for Brandon Ayuk. So
Yeah.
we'll see, but fantasy relevance, it's a question mark, realistically. And one more wide receiver, we got Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings. It's a perfect spot for a wide receiver, just like Jerry Jeudy, to be able to make an impact right away. They just traded away Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills, so they need an outside wide receiver. They had a couple that filled
Johnson
the role
came
a
on
little
last
bit.
year.
He did okay, but they're still looking for a wide receiver. Realistically,
Johnson came on last year.
I know, yeah, but they're still looking for a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson, which should fill a good role. Realistically, you're looking at outside receiver as a rookie that could be a viable starter week in and out. So in an offense that, don't get me wrong, is still run heavy, Kirk Cousins still makes some plays, especially deep down the field. So he likes to take those deep ball shots. He always has. So
them running that 12 personnel the way that they do, and they got a possession receiver in Thielen. It just fits that they needed a Justin Jefferson. Very good product out of LSU. His fantasy relevance, I'm not really sure right now. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that goes, because I'm telling you, Johnson did come on, and I think that was the ultimate thing of them trading Stephon Diggs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we have something in this kid too. But Justin Jefferson, the kid's a monster, man. He can honestly be one of those sleeper type candidates on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a sleeper, a guy that you can get in the late rounds and could possibly work out to be a wide receiver 2 or 3. You know? So that's the wide receiver class that we're going to look at.
Wide receiver class was dope, by the way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Lots of wide receivers to look into as we get closer to the season, OTAs.
And dynasty drafts and everything like that. These are a lot of these guys are going to be second and third year players that are going to be absolutely dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
a lot of
I mean?
these in dynasty drafts, you're looking for second rounds. You know what I mean? The rookies especially. So we can move to the running back position. And don't get me wrong, running backs, they kind of slouched this year. There was only one drafted in the first round.
Taken in weird spots. I don't understand.
Yeah, the draft was a little different. So realistically, I don't know how many starters you're going to get out of the running back position, especially at the rookie position this year. But the Kansas City Chiefs, they took the first one off the board. And you're looking at Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yep.
And he is a viable option. Don't get me wrong. Are they going to just throw away Damian Williams and not use him at all? No, I don't see it. But he definitely has the possibility. We've seen that Damian Williams cannot stay healthy, cannot stay on the field. We told you this last year. We told you when they drafted, you drafted him in the second round. It was way too high, completely wrong. And what happened? He busted for you most of the year. So Helaire could absolutely find the field. I really do think that he has an option to find the field. And if you are somebody who wants to take a chance on Damian Williams high, then realistically, you're going to want to pick him up as a handcuff for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's all it is. I think he's going to be the ultimate handcuff to Damian Williams. He spent a lot of time off the field last year, Damian Williams, but when he's in parts, he showed up when it was time to show up.
Of course.
You know what
Super
I mean?
Bowl.
Super Bowl. Killed it. You know what I mean? Kansas City Chiefs picked up Damian Williams' fifth-year option. They draft Helaire in the first round. I vividly remember last year Darwin Thompson being showcased in the preseason. Absolutely killed it. He looked like something special.
Yep.
When we got to the regular season, he was non-existent. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be the same thing that happens to Helaire.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? A lot of you fantasy pros got this guy slated in redraft leagues in the second round to draft him on your fantasy team. I don't see it. Just because of that situation, period. You know what I mean? They don't pick up Damian Williams' fifth-year option if they're not going to use him. You know what I mean? This is a Super Bowl team structured as a Super Bowl team. You know what I mean? What works, and what's unknown will be figured out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I honestly think Helaire is a great product out of LSU.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. He's dope. Dynamite. Excellent pass catcher out of the backfield. Very small. 5'7". You know what I mean? I think they're going to rock Damian Williams. They're going to use everything they got. And I think he will be Damian Williams' replacement.
Yeah.
I don't think, as far as fantasy relevant this year, everybody's going to tell you to draft this guy. But I think only thing that you can hope for is he has a timeshare with Damian Williams.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong.
That's it.
The injury concerns of Damian Williams
Yeah.
could help Hilaire's case to be able to be made to be
But
drafted.
they still have Darwin Thompson.
But the second round, third round draft capital on a what if at the moment, don't get me wrong, we're not close to the season yet.
Darwin Thompson was a 6th-round draft pick. You know what I mean? Edwards Helaire got taken in the first round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was the first one taken off the board. That doesn't mean that he's just going to plug and play.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? I really think it's still Damian Williams, and I think this kid is dope. But at best, he's a handcuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. At the moment, don't get me wrong. Close to the season, for some foreseeable reason, Damian Williams falls out of love with the head coach over there, Andy Reid. If he ends up in the doghouse, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows what's going to happen? But at the moment, there's no way you can have that much capital in a rookie running back in an offense that's pass first.
I'm fading this guy.
Yeah, of course. So we can move to the next guy, Jonathan Taylor. And this guy is definitely a huge handcuff. One of the top running backs coming out of the class. And he's on the Indianapolis Colts.
He has the college dominator. I mean,
Marlon Mack's still there.
yeah.
So how can you have a high draft capital on him? Realistically, if you draft Marlon Mack, you probably should draft this guy as one of your later picks.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially
he's
like
going
a
to be
12-man.
he's going to be a very productive cuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's looking into going into a split workload. Period. He had a lot of carries coming out of college. You know what I mean? Absolutely rocked him, dominated out of Wisconsin. This kid is dynamite. He's dope. I don't understand why he got took so late. Maybe because they know they had to pay him the money. Who knows? You know what I mean? But all you know is the Colts got him, and yeah, he is draftable. Probably about 8th round, certain like that. You know what I mean? That's when I would be taking a guy like that.
Yeah, of course. So we can move to the next running back, DeAndre Swift. Now, this is another running back that was highly sought after, highly talked about.
Beast.
And he was taken by the Detroit Lions, who have Kerryon Johnson. Now, Kerryon Johnson hasn't proven to be healthy.
Yeah.
They draft DeAndre Swift. Definitely a possibility they could be a timeshare right off the bat, at least. And who knows? Kerryon Johnson can't stay healthy, so
Still got that OC over there.
yeah, I know. So DeAndre Swift by midseason might be an RB2 if he's healthy in that offense, you know. So
This guy could be an RB1. The footage that I've seen of DeAndre Swift, I mean, I'll give you 2 names. I'll give you 3 names. Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel. I'll give you 4 names. DeAndre Swift, Georgia Bulldogs. This kid is no joke. I'm telling you, like, he just has it. That breakaway speed that he has, he's able to catch the ball at the backfield. His playmaking ability is, bar none, just immaculate over all these guys, I'm telling you, that I've seen come out of this draft. He should have been the first one to come off this board. I don't understand why Tampa didn't take him, move up to take him. I mean, it is what it is, but Swift is definitely a sleeper right now. I'm talking about RB1, close to being RB1 numbers. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's possible in an offense that's going to pass first, but they still like to run the football.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But
The same OC made Adrian Peterson,
yep,
made Beast Mode. You know what I mean? This is the kind of running back you wanted. We wanted that high hope for Kerryon Johnson, but Kerryon Johnson also, I mean, through high school, he's always had those injury concerns, and it showed last year. You know what I mean? So DeAndre Swift could go in there and possibly take this complete job away from him.
it could.
I mean, outside of that, they had like Ty Johnson there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They didn't pan out.
Yeah, of course, nobody you have to worry about. So
Yeah.
next running back, Cam Akers. Now he's huge. Everybody's talking him up right now. Los Angeles Rams. They get rid of Todd Gurley. Can he make an impact? Yes. Is he probably going to? I don't see it.
No.
There's a couple reasons. Malcolm Brown is one reason. Now, Malcolm
sucks.
Brown, is he a good running back? Personally, I don't think so.
Where's running back?
He obviously thinks he's the worst in the league. But at the end of the day, the Rams like him for some foreseeable reason. They still run him. They ran him last year over Darrell Henderson, even though they drafted Henderson second round. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah, they
went
moved
second
up to
round.
go get Darrell
Exactly.
Henderson.
So now they move Todd Gurley. You got Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson, and they bring in Cam Akers. Can he make an impact? I don't see it. I mean, do you really think they drafted a second round running back to overtake Darrell Henderson and Malcolm Brown as the starter, the clear cut starter? No. You're honestly looking probably at a full blown timeshare in this backfield. It's going to be tough to pick a starter out of these 3. If I was to pick anybody, I would hope on Darrell Henderson. I think he can make a huge impact. So that's my guy if I was to take one. But Cam Akers, he's not draftable for me. Not at the moment.
Cam Akers, you know what? The difference with Cam Akers is he's one of those bigger guys. Hendo was a little bit smaller. Home run hitter, though. You know what I mean? I think he did his rookie due. They didn't play the rookie. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to play Cam Akers either. I'm telling you, it's just not going to happen. Hendo was a way better option to me. You know what I'm saying? Just on tape, they don't even look the same. They obviously had to fill a void there with losing Gurley, and I think they just lost Gurley because of the money. If they didn't sign him to that contract, Gurley would still be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Cam Akers is dope. Don't get it wrong. He is a dope player, but will he overtake Hendo? I don't think so. I think this is Hendo's job, coming out the backfield, just flat running. You know what I mean? Like, period. I think this is Hendo's job, and he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, and I'm sorry, I just can't take Akers.
Yeah. For me, Akers, at the moment,
That's one of those waiver wire players.
absolutely.
When you see it happen, then you take it.
Absolutely. That's where Cam Akers is. That's where, honestly, a lot of these running backs are. There's not really one that jumps out at me. Don't get me wrong. You want Hilaire because he's on the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the highest power offense in football. That's why he's so hyped up at the moment. But,
All these rookies, the guy that I want is Keyshawn Vaughn.
okay. Keyshawn Vaughn, Tampa Bay, right?
Tampa Bay. This is the guy that I want. I'm telling you. Because, first and foremost, he's in the backfield. He's in a different situation than all these guys, right? He's in the backfield with the person in front of him sucks. I mean, he's a speed back. He's cool, but he can't catch out of the backfield. Nothing like that. This kid, Keyshawn Vaughn, you know, he's a transfer from Illinois. He transferred to Vanderbilt. Absolutely beasted in Vanderbilt. If you look at his numbers and everything like that, he was pretty solid. You know what I mean? What sets him different was, out of all the running backs in college last year, he was top 2 percentile in 20 yards and 40-yard plays. You know what I mean? You look at the offense with they 12 personnel. They got either Brate or O.J. Howard with Gronk. Then you got Mike Evans, Godwin. And then you got a whole lane for this kid to just break open and make big plays.
Yep.
He can catch out of the backfield. You know what I mean? I think this is your sleeper pick at running back this year. I'm putting my line on it. Keyshawn Vaughn, I think he's dope. And you're going to get damn near him at the last round.
Yeah, of course. He's going to be your last pick.
I'm telling you, this kid is going to murder. Just like the same way that Arian Foster did. Nobody seen that coming.
Well,
Keyshawn Vaughn is going to be a beast.
Obviously, they weren't super hyped about any of these running backs because they could have
This
had
is
one.
a Bruce
They didn't.
Arian running back.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They weren't super hyped about any of these running backs we've already talked about because they could have had any one of them, honestly, in the first round.
Yeah.
They moved up and got the lineman to save Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But,
Like, no panic, no sweat.
yeah, of course.
We can get our guy later.
Of course, but you got to remember, Ronald Jones is still there.
But he still sucks.
He showed he had some okay games last year. Don't get me wrong. You just couldn't tell which ones were which.
Did he have a dominant game?
A true dominant game?
Yeah.
No, not a beast game. He had some pretty decent fantasy games for sure. He was that player that you always wanted to pick up and start, but every time you started him, he let you down. So you could never start him. So that's my best judgment of Ronald Jones. Can this player make an impact? Absolutely. Especially with all the weapons that they have on offense. It bodes well. Period. So he can make a huge impact. But Keyshawn Vaughn, that's the number one sleeper, I think, at the running back position. And there you have it. That's realistically our fantasy impact. No quarterbacks to be able to start.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, we got a couple. Judy, CeeDee Lamb. We also like Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I like
definitely
Jefferson
possible.
a
Those
lot.
are three definite wide receivers possible to be drafted. Everyone.
J.K. Dobbins, like, what the fuck? You're buried on the depth chart.
Yeah, of course. We can bring up J.K. Dobbins a little bit, but Mark Ingram,
Yeah.
Gus Edwards. Even if they cut Gus Edwards, they got Justice Hill still.
They also have Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, of course. Who runs the
You know
football?
what I mean? So,
That was the impact of the rookies that we've gone through so far. And realistically, if you like this video, don't forget, subscribe, hit the thumb, hit the bell. You know what it is. B. Scott.
G.O.D.
We out.